So public financing remains central. Health cannot just be a question of who has got more money. It's a fundamental human right. We must defend it from forces that prioritize financial returns and profits over human dignity and survival.
For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Minutes after 1 p.m. Come on. 6 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. This is The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. What do you think of our new sick tune? Listen to that. Yeah. Hey! Come on now, let me know on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And don't forget to download our Channel Africa app. We've got a brand new app where you can stream the show, check out the lineup, read up about the presenters, check out all the amazing work that Channel Africa is doing. So on your Play Store, on Android or your iOS device, just search for Channel Africa and download so you can take us with you wherever you go. Happy Thursday to you and yours. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. If you're driving around in Johannesburg, listen, man, hey, take it easy on the roads. It's been raining cats and dogs out there, and be safe, be cautious, safe, following distance, don't speed. It was quite a challenge getting to work this afternoon, I'm not going to lie. It's not the rain that was the problem. Yes, it's raining like crazy, but it's the flooding in certain parts of Johannesburg. I mean, what normally takes me about 5 minutes to get out of Germiston, where I come from, took me about 15 to 20 minutes today because there was flooding on the road. So please travel safely on the roads, drive safely, get to your destination, hopefully on time, but get there safely. Here's what's coming up on The Upside this afternoon. We start off with a conversation asking respect or restriction. Why challenging male dominance triggers cultural anxiety. We'll be getting into conversation with a spiritual leader and finding out why it triggers certain people when we have such conversations. And then later on, how repatriated artworks tell the stories of South Africa's artists abroad and at home. And then our final story this afternoon, as the JSE wavers, South Africans are turning to luxury watches, handbags and jewelry as high value alternative investments. We'll be getting into conversation with Luxity. They are resellers of luxury items. They are resellers of luxury items and watches in particular. Are they a great investment now? Are you a watch collector yourself? I love a nice timepiece because I know the value of it is going to increase over time. And right now, as it stands, are you filling up that watch box of yours with more timepieces? Are you a watch collector? Well, stay tuned for that conversation later on today. It's 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's continue enjoying this sick tune.
Siyabangena manje. Vito Jabulani Kolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. Very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tebogo and Mmatsheko on the Upside.
Baguma kudulyo jarangama gur patron di waltal ngala jarangama dem wax sa xalaat ma wax la sama xalaat yow mi matana ci sen biir def la andando nara fas yene ngala bundirero baken duñu ke kanto yow mi nga xamne bëgguma ku dul yow jaral nga ma gur pétrole di wal nga la jaral nga ma di ma wax sa xalaat ma wax la sama xalaat yow mi ma tànn ci seen biir def la àndandoo nara fas yéene nga doon jabar nga la bundirero nga la bundirero baken duñu kekkanto
14 minutes into 1 p.m. in Central African time. We move through the West African sounds of Mmatsheko from Senegal with Yo coming through. The West Africans will always be popular when it comes to really just this wonderful music, whether we're talking about the Malians or the Senegalese. Okay, they come through always. So Mmatsheko coming through as singer and songwriter, and one of the people that championed the Mbalak movement and sound from way back when. Welcome to The Upside. Oh my goodness, I'm already on the Sunday timeline wanting to say planting the seed, but this is The Upside. Welcome to the show, dear Upsider. Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito in your company until 4 p.m. this afternoon.
All right, we're getting into an important conversation this afternoon, and we're asking, across Africa, the continent, leadership is evolving, right? Men and women are stepping outside the confines of outdated gender norms and showing that the power to lead doesn't belong to a single style, gender, or stereotype. Gone are the days when assertiveness was seen as a male trait and empathy dismissed as weakness. As women rise in boardrooms, government, and grassroots movements, they still face cultural, societal, and institutional barriers. But what's emerging is a new inclusive model of leadership, one that reflects the complexity, diversity, and potential of modern African societies. To help us explore this shift and the deeper meaning behind it, we are joined on the line by Mkhulu Nobamba Zulu, founder of the Nobamba Family Spiritual and Mental Wellness Institute and a very respected cultural expert. Mkhulu, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. Let's get to know you a bit better and the work that you are doing at the Nobamba Family Spiritual and Mental Wellness Institute.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Just snippets about who Nobamba Zulu is. The work that I do at Nobamba is very simple. I bring together families and we deal with the family challenges, especially the crisis of people fighting in the family, people, not agreeing in family matters, and also the marriages, I bring in a spiritual and mental health perspective into those conversations. I do hikes with families, I do hikes with couples, and we have, spiritual and mental wellness conversations about the challenges that they may be experiencing as families. I use traditional methods. There is one beautiful method called Intlampoluko that I apply in my work, bringing families together to have conversations, but to have deeper conversations about what is the source of these problems that they are going through. Because in most cases, when people have challenges, especially in relationships and in families, they tend to want to just deal with what happened today or what happened yesterday. Our families are not able to look back and say, where does this problem really come from? Because in most cases, you find that the same thing keeps repeating itself over and over and over again, even when you would want to believe that you have dealt with this issue. But this thing keeps repeating itself. So we go deeper into finding the source. What is it that within our family or in our relationship, this thing keeps repeating itself? So we help families and couples go through those issues and find a solution together. And also we make sure that we don't leave spirituality behind, because in most cases, we forget that we only function when we are properly aligned, both spiritually, mentally, and physically. So that's how we approach most of our problem-solving methods.
Thokozam, cool. Thank you so much for that. And I really like your point around alignment. I think that's something that we often just say glibly, but we don't really understand how important it is. But just looking at the current family structure, uh, in African families. And I think when we look at, just the urbanization of families, that is just becoming more and more apparent as we move on. It's not just, mom staying at home, dad staying at home in the homelands, dad working in the mines far, far away from home. Both parents are now working. The family structure is quite modernized. Education is quite modernized. So when you look at the structure of the African family, how does that then affect how we redefine spaces of leadership beyond the gender stereotypes, as it were? Because we are seeing a place where we're kind of battling with themes of empathy and also assertiveness in between men and women, as it were.
Yeah. Look, maybe first I need to attempt to correct something about gender equality and the male domination. Many people in conversations and the narrative that is been going around has always been that male domination and gender inequality is influenced by culture. I don't think that is true. African culture is based on a balance, between male and female. Both masculinity and femininity, they need to work together to strike the balance. If you go back, Mandulo, you will find that in most cases, the people abaya emasimini bayolima, it would be women, and then men would go out hunting. So that is how you strike the balance. Most of these things came with the colonial system, and we misunderstood them as culture, and we've continuously. And because also another mission of colonialism was to demonize our cultures so that we adopt the new cultures that they're giving us. They actually, brought these narratives that our culture is bad for women, it is allowing male dominance and all that, and we believed it. I have heard very little about people seeing deeper into what religion also has contributed in male domination and in how religion treated women and all that. Religion is one of the tools of colonialism, psychological tools that was used to oppress, Africans. And one of the easiest ways to oppress a people is to demonize their cultures and give them something to replace what their culture is all about. So the narrative doesn't say anything about religion. And I believe when I dig deeper, I realize that religion looks like it's innocent. It is not innocent as well as at all, because even if you read the Bible or the Torah or the Quran, it's male dominated. All the stories there are male dominated. They actually don't even they're not even considering women. But just to come to your question, so I don't lose our listeners. Your question about urbanization and evolution and all that, that at the workplace now you find women, you find men, so that means in a family setup, both of us in the morning we're going to work. No one stays at home and do all those home chores that somehow we were made to believe they are for one gender, which is a feminine gender, which I believe is not true. It was perpetrated or perpetuated by the system of colonialism because it took men away to the mines and then women remained back at home and they found themselves doing everything, taking care of the children, cleaning the houses and doing everything. When men come back, somehow it looked like it's culture that they don't do anything. I mean, I grew up cooking myself. I grew up in a very big family where we were raised by one grandmother, all of us, grandmother and grandfather. And I was cooking, I was cleaning, there was no such thing as girls will do the cleaning and the cooking and all that, and then boys will just be idling. We grew up cooking and doing all those things. So I think it's how we allow the narrative, to take dominance in most cases, or how we influence these discussions. So I believe that African culture and African spirituality is based on balance. In my own home, I have got 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls, and then I have my wife. There's no duty for one particular gender. My boys cook, they clean the house. My girls do the same thing. They share the responsibility. I even allow them to share, to sit down and discuss who's doing what. And my wife does not have, she doesn't feel the obligation that when we all come back, she needs to cook for me. Or no, we sit down and discuss what are we eating today. As to who's going to cook, it's another thing. But, we do try to strike that balance, yes.
Right, point made. Thank you so much. We are in conversation with Mkhulu as we discuss really themes around cultural anxiety, male dominance versus where the feminine lies in all of that. So we are in conversation about this, and we're looking at spiritual matters, mental wellness, and the Mental Wellness Institute that he's currently reading, of course. Mkhulu Nobamba Zulu is joining us on the line. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Annika Longi sur Channel Africa.
Comment est-ce que les militants et sympathisants du parti Les Transformateurs ont-ils réagi face à la condamnation de Succès Masra?
La condamnation de Succès Masra ne nous a pas surpris et les militants transformateurs ont été bouleversés et indignés étant donné que le verdict est un verdict lourd, illégal, injuste et donc face à la répression dans laquelle le peuple tchadien est confronté, les militants transformateurs se sont résignés de ne pouvoir pas sortir manifester et donc c'est une situation totalement absurde pour un pays et aujourd'hui nous célébrons le 11 août, fête de l'indépendance. On pensait que le verdict allait être plus ou moins clément, mais le verdict est sévère.
Annika Longi, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
28 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's wrap up our conversation with Mkhulu Nobamba Zulu about revisiting what true leadership really looks like in the context of the African household. And Mkhulu, let's talk about the communities, the families, because we hear you say one thing. It's one thing for you to say, okay, cool, this is how leadership is supposed to be, that it's not necessarily assigned to gender, that there must be a balance. When we see it in the streets, when we go to the homes, when we go to the villages, it's a different story. How do we shift those mindsets so that we revisit what it truly means to be a leader, especially on the African continent?
Look, yes, I agree that these things are already happening. So, and don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying these things are not happening.
Yeah,
they are happening. I'm just saying the narrative that makes people believe that it's African culture that perpetuates male dominance is not true. But I'm also saying, because it's the colonial system that brought these things to us, they have psychologically damaged most of our people. Psychologically, people tend to believe that narrative, and that is what many people would practice in their homes. But I'm sure you can see it's failing all the time. There's always a rebellion, and within our homes, simply because there's something wrong that we're doing. There's something very interesting about spirituality. Yes, it does define certain roles within our families, but it's not necessarily your physical roles like cooking and all that. That for me is it's immaterial. The spiritual roles for for our genders within our families. The masculinity and the femininity must balance. Men have certain responsibilities within their families, and then women also have certain responsibilities within their families, and that helps both the man and the woman strike the balance in leading the family, because both of us are bringing something into the relationship so we can create a family. So those roles and responsibilities are important for couples to understand, and not to also use them to dominate each other, because in a relationship where there's dominance, then there's no love. There is no harmony, because a relationship survives with harmony. So it is dependent on both of you singing in the same tune, with harmony, for the family to really exist and prosper. So it is very important for men and women to understand their roles. The biggest challenge that we have in most relationships, and even within the families, we do not understand our purpose and our roles. So we come into relationships. Of course, we're all learning when we get into relationships, but it is important to understand, as a man, what are my roles and what are my obligations for this family to prosper? As a woman, why am I here? What are my roles and responsibilities? How do I make my own contribution to make sure we have a family? So I think the narrative today, or the education that we should be talking about, it's what are these roles? Let's define these roles, and let's make our boys understand them. Let's make our girls understand them, and so that they strike that balance, because it's important. In a relationship where there's no alignment, that relationship does not
I'm so
prosper.
sorry.
It will always have potholes.
Mkolo, I'm so sorry. I
don't know if I've answered your question.
You have answered the question. Unfortunately, we are out of time. And if you'd like to reach out to Mkolo, please check him out on social media at Nobamba Zulu for more conversations with him. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports with Lekhuleni.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Start off with rugby news. Reigning World Cup champions South Africa are gearing up for a French team still hurting from the 2023 Rugby World Cup quarter-final defeat in Paris. The Springboks started their 5-test tour of Europe with an emphatic victory over Japan in London last weekend. But the Tricolours, who desperately want revenge following their 1-point defeat at the Stade de France in 2023, will pose a much bigger threat on Saturday. Although coach Rassi Erasmus believes his side should have scored more against Japan, he was content with the accuracy and attitude of the players.
France have made a statement in the last couple of years with their physicality and how big they are. So I think Saturday is definitely going to be the same again. 2 big packs colliding against each other. And I think we're looking forward to the challenge. We analysed them all this week, and like you said, the French have a big team, and I think that's definitely going to be the where it comes down to the both of the forwards packs, just who's going to get dominated or who's going to dominate who. So I think all of us are looking forward to that.
Springbok lock Luo Dijaga believes that the French are a good, well-balanced team that is physical and confrontational in nature.
Every test match is a big challenge for us as a team and for each individual personally. So this week, you know, the French are a very good team, and we know it's going to be a big challenge. We're looking forward to that, you know, like every test match.
And to football news, Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has named his 22-man squad for the international friendly against Zambia scheduled to take place in Gqeberha on the 15th of November. Broos has stuck to the bulk of his 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying squad that has done duty in recent months, with several foreign-based players called up despite the friendly nature of the fixture. Let's end with volleyball. Kenya's Muhuru Bay in Migori County is set to host the National Beach Volleyball Championship on the 13th to the 15th of December. In a statement, Kenya Volleyball Federation's Beach Volleyball Chair Moses Mbuthia says the choice of venue is part of their bigger plan of popularizing the sport all over the country and tapping emerging talents. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news with Nosipo, or the latest business news, that is, with Nosipo Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, this Responsible Gambling Month in South Africa, a new report has revealed that financial desperation is driving cash-strapped South Africans towards high-risk gambling as a perceived income solution. Now, Just Money's inaugural Money and Me survey found that those earning less than $286 per month are 4 times more likely to choose online gambling over safer cost-cutting options. Experts are now cautioning that this reckless behavior quickly leads to debt, strained relationships and job loss. Just Money's Sarah Nicholson says they are advocating for low-risk alternatives like side hustles and stricter budgeting.
We saw that gambling is actually seen as a income-stretching option for many of those people who can actually least afford it. So what this month is really doing is just highlighting the importance of ensuring that you're educated, understand the risks of gambling, and really making sure that if it is something that someone is struggling with, that you have some way and understanding of how to actually get some help towards that.
Maritime security firm Umbre says that a Malta-flagged product tanker has reportedly been boarded by pirates offshore Somalia. In a statement, the company says that the pirates were reported to have approached on a skiff and opened fire on the tanker, adding that the pirates were operating from hijacked Iranian-flagged Edhow. The vessel was en route from Sika in India to Durban in South Africa. In a separate statement, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, which is UKMTO agency, said unauthorized people had boarded a vessel southeast of Ale, Somalia. It is not clear whether Umbre and the UKMTO are referring to the same incident, but their statements both give similar distances from Somalia's coast. The real estate arm of Doha's sovereign wealth fund, Qatari Dia, will invest $29.7 billion in a luxury development, including golf courses and marinas on Egypt's Mediterranean coast. The development aims to turn Alam Al Rum, an undeveloped 7-kilometer stretch of coastline 480 kilometers northwest of Cairo, into a year-round destination that will attract tourists and will also have luxury neighborhoods, schools, universities, and government facilities. Egypt has for years been pushing to secure foreign investments, especially from wealthy Gulf states, as it seeks to tackle heavy foreign debts and a gaping budget deficit. Nissan Motor moved back to an operating profit in the second quarter on reporting its best quarterly results in more than a year due to efforts to reduce fixed costs as part of its turnaround plan and stronger sales in North America. Nissan booked $342 million in operating profits from July to September, up 61% from $208 million a year earlier. The result follows a first quarter operating loss and marked its best single quarter finish since a $585 million profit in the final quarter of fiscal 2023. And finally, vibe coding has been named as a Collins English Dictionary Word for the Year. It means using AI to generate code for a website or app by explaining in regular language what is required. The method can allow people who can't code to start creating digital products. The BBC's Zoe Kleinman explains.
ChatGPT, code me an app showing the latest movie reviews with the option to vote on the best and worst current movies and comment on them.
Sure thing. I'll give you a little starting point in code form. Let's say we're doing this as
That is vibe coding. It's not a faultless technique and there's no guarantee the code will actually work or be free of bugs. My movie app code was created in seconds, although it would take me considerably longer to check it and fix any problems. The term vibe coding was coined by Andrej Karpathy, the former director of AI at Tesla.
Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,440 naira. In Botswana, it's 13.35. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 26, and in Zambia, it's 22.37. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5.38. Russia is 81 rubles 18. India is 88 rupees 65. China at 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 13. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,012 and platinum at $1,567 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $64.23 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The voice of the continent, now online, with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more. Tebogo and Mmatsheko on the upside.
On a Sunday morning, she won't do something, I won't go church. On a Monday morning, I won't do something, she won't go walk. I no move this way. Police, yeah. Police, she don't take my heart, they go. Police, yeah. Police, she don't take my heart, they go. You body me, my baby. If money no dey,
matter. We lead the conversation.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Wake up with gratitude, hope, and the African spirit. Channel Africa, now easier to access than ever before. WhatsApp us on +27 63 406 9126. Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
For me, and if you put my mind, you see, floppy money. Focus with me, the vitamin C. Oh, as you can see, something will not there for me. If you don't say that you're for me, it's no guarantee. I know if you say you be my party, for my money, all the time I want gonna. For my balance, you know straight my car, you too can I enter small yawa. For your matter, you the only you want the call. If you go away, go. If you go away, go. You want if you go away, go. If you go away, go. You want if you go away, go. If you go away, go. You want if you go away, go. If you go away, go. You want if you go away, go. If you go away, go. You want if you go away, go. If you go away, go. Baby, my money make a boss more. Stop at the long talk, I know they will run me. I want some like that me once, my day one. And let my enemies shame me go now. Stop nonsense, you dey hate on me out market. If I form or make I bend, say you get fake dress, but you won't give me advice about patience. Are you making sense? Can't beat before I change my color. I dey talk, shut up. Me where you with it, I know be baller. She be mama, ever I'm fed up.
Minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. Beautiful double play this afternoon on the upside. We kicked you off with Police, a song there by Angelique Kidjo, Johnny Drill, and Kiz Daniel. And that last song we're listening to there, Fikan Wikan by BNXN and Rema. This is the upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Happy Thursday to you and yours. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, it's time for Vent O'Clock. I'll try not to vent about cars again, but today was a movie.
No, we have to vent about today. Today we have to talk about it.
Today was a movie.
A film.
Vent O'Clock coming up next.
Annika Longi sur Channel Africa.
Comment est-ce que les militants et sympathisants du parti, les transformateurs, ont-ils réagi face à la condamnation de Succès Masra?
La condamnation de Succès Masra ne nous a pas surpris et les militants transformateurs ont été bouleversés et indignés étant donné que le verdict est un verdict lourd, illégal, injuste et donc face à la répression dans laquelle le peuple tchadien est confronté, les militants transformateurs se sont résignés de ne pouvoir pas sortir manifester. Et donc, c'est une situation totalement absurde pour un pays. Et aujourd'hui, nous célébrons le 11 août, fête de l'indépendance. On pensait que le verdict allait être plus ou moins clément, mais le verdict est sévère.
Annika Longi, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. It's time for Vent O'Clock. I said I wasn't going to talk about cars. So here's what happened, right? It was raining cats and dogs this afternoon. My poor car
Was it hailing?
It was hailing. There was actual snow on the ground.
That is a movie.
And that's how bad it was. All the accumulation of that much hail. My tires had never seen such before. Never experienced such before. And it was more so the flooding that was a problem on the road, because I've got a little tiny car. It's, little hatchback, and so when it comes to flooded roads, it really does struggle. Like it's not gonna it's not like a bucky or a 4x4 that has a high clearance. So there I am trying to maneuver through this flooded water or flooded road, and my goodness me, did the sensors not go crazy? The car it lost its mind. It's like, what is it? Panicked.
Oh, man.
I'm like, you're going to make it.
Poor baby.
You are going to make it. Don't worry. There I am. Secretly, I'm panicking that time because now I'm swimming. Now I have to get out my pedal sticks. That's how deep I was. I had to take out my pedal sticks and start swimming.
Oh no.
And there's a certain moment, because you have to decide whether you're going to carry on or you're going to stop and turn around and find a different route. The smaller cars in front of me, they had decided, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to turn around. We're going to do a U-turn and go to another road. Now I'm checking the oncoming traffic. They're also deciding the same thing. I'm seeing a lot of buckies and all these other taxis. They're confidently going through it. Yes, with a bit of struggle, but they managed to go through. So I decided, I was like, I can't go around, because if I go around, that's going to add an extra probably 20 minutes to my journey. But if I get stuck here, I'm not going to be able to come to work. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just do it. Drove right in, water splashing everywhere, and car is screaming, just beep, 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 beep,
Make
beep,
it stop.
Stop. I carried on, and I made it through to the other side, only to be met with another one. There were about 3 flooded roads situations that I had to avoid. Well, not avoid, that I had to go through this afternoon. My goodness me, I realized that, and we've said it before, the drainage system in Gauteng is generally very good in certain areas, right? But when it's bad, it's really, really bad. There were cars that got stuck, and I can only imagine the damage that would have done to the engine, to everything in that car. So today, I am just grateful that we made it to work safely.
Safely.
And that's why earlier I said, if you are driving around in Johannesburg today, please drive safely, carefully, safe following distance, don't speed.
Yeah, and just be extra courteous,
Absolutely.
If it's not going to hurt you to just let another person go through, just let that be, because the roads are slippery, and it's
100%.
just be courteous. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, that it's not even an event, it's just, it was a near miss today. Never again. I realized that if it starts raining like that, either I need to already in advance have set my mind to using another route, because that one in particular it gets flooded, and I'm aware that it does get flooded, but I haven't seen it like that in a very long time. And the rain fell in like a space of 15-30 minutes. That's how quickly it all happened. But yeah, we got through it safely, and the car is alive. I'm alive. Very grateful. So that's my little vent for today.
Well, my nervous system just went calm on your behalf, because that's the last thing you want to be in. Stuck in traffic, flooded roads, your car and yourself are in danger. Other people are in danger. It's just horrible. So I'm really happy for you that you were able to get through that. And what a blessing it is to have the opportunity to say, okay, well, next time I'm going to switch directions, Sometimes you just don't have that option, but that's great that you are going to do that.
Absolutely. We are one decision away. Just one.
Yes.
Every single time.
Every
You're one
moment of
decision
the day.
away. Every single day.
Every
one
moment.
decision away. You can either go left or go right. Anyway, not what caught your eye. We'll do that a bit later. What do you want to vent about?
Exactly that. In any given moment, you can change direction. I feel like I want to vent about how people interact with one another on social media, especially under the comment section. It just gets fiery under there. It's just something I've observed over time, is that people don't understand, or they just don't understand it in practice. Maybe intellectually you get it, but you don't, just not practicing it. And how you engage with your triggers on social media, or somebody posting a video and saying something that's triggering you, or something you don't agree with, or something you have an opposing opinion to. And that can harm your mental wellness, I would imagine. You know, you're just getting triggered by everything. You know, Tebogo posted, you don't like it, you tell him, take this off, or don't say that, and this one post, and you know, you are actually not hurting the next person, because you don't even know them. They're probably keeping it moving, y'all, and they're getting paid to be on social media. Do you know what I mean? They really are getting on with what they need to get on with, and you are hurting yourself by getting under the comment section, being vile, being disrespectful under somebody else's comment section, being triggered, and just hanging your dirty laundry all over someone else's social media posts. So I just want to vent about that, and I think that you are creating, you are, what is it? You're just making the space dirty. Like, can I just say that you really are creating a space where people cannot engage with one another respectfully, because there you are coming in with swear words and cursing out people you don't know, and a lot of the time it is so unnecessary and uncalled for. I mean, if obviously somebody is promoting abuse or criminal activity or anything illegal, people need to come for you, right? I understand that. But in somebody sharing their opinion or their thought or their outfit or their body shape or whatever it is, you are one decision away to saying, I don't agree with this, I'm going to block this post, or I'm going to walk away, or I'm just not going to comment, because you don't have to comment negatively about every single post you see.
You really don't.
I'm trying to think of an example actually as I'm talking. But yeah, I mean, I've seen so many, I think, over the last couple of days, where somebody will come on. Like, there's a gentleman who was talking about on TikTok about, live your life, and you've only got a limited time. He's a medical doctor, and I really liked them. He said, I actually shared it with you. And he was talking about, just live your life. I see people pass away every minute of every day. There's somebody who didn't make it on my table. Okay, and I've got to declare these people dead. So my message to you is, if you need to do something, whatever it is, please do it, because you've only got this one life to live. And people are cursing him out, and you're talking, and they're using profanities. Why is that necessary? Why did you have to go there? Because you could simply say, no, I don't agree with that. I think, and I mean, there are people that were very respectful in their disagreements. No, I mean, death is not really the final stage. This is my opinion. There is no need for you to curse out this poor doctor. You don't even know him. And he's not, he's actually promoting something good. He's telling you to get up and go. And if you don't want to get up and go, you want to sit there and be toxic, then block him and go ahead and be toxic. So that's my vent for the day.
Yeah, it's very easy. Well, I was about to say it's very easy. If you don't like someone's content, just carry on swiping. Move on. There's no need for you to interact with that person. You don't even know them. They don't know you. And in all honesty, your opinion doesn't matter. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news with Jolani Tulongweb.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. Top stories this hour: Tanzania's main opposition party deputy leader facing terrorism charges and a case of mpox detected in South Africa. Good afternoon. The deputy leader of Tanzania's main opposition party, Chadema, is facing terrorism charges 2 weeks after his arrest in the capital Dodoma. John Heche is now being held in the main city Dar es Salaam, where he was informed of the charges. Tado Letshaba reports.
John Heche's lawyer, Hekima Mmaseko, says it's unclear when he will appear in court. Heche was arrested ahead of last week's elections, denounced by opposition as shame. President Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn in on Monday after being declared the winner with 98% of votes. Chadima's chairperson, Tundu Lissu, remains in detention on treason charges, which he denies. Yesterday, the African Union observers said the 2025 Tanzania general elections did not comply with AU principles, normative frameworks, and other international obligations and standards for democratic elections.
All eyes are on Cameroon's capital Yaoundé as President Paul Biya prepares to be inaugurated today for an 8th-year term, extending his 43-year rule. The ceremony comes amid ongoing political tensions with opposition parties rejecting the results of the October 12 election and calling for nationwide protests. South Africa's Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi says all citizens deserve quality health care regardless of their socio-economic status. Motsoaledi was speaking at the G20 Health Minister meeting in Polokwane in the Limpopo province. Motsoaledi says that they will collaborate with countries such as Norway, which already has universal health care, to ensure that the National Health Insurance, or NHI, benefits all citizens.
We need robust regulatory guardrails, learning from global examples, to ensure public financing remains central. Health cannot just be a question of who has more money. It's a fundamental human right. We must defend it from forces that prioritize financial returns and profits over human dignity and survival.
Still in South Africa, a 40-year-old man from the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands is being treated for mpox in the North Rail Hospital in Pietermaritzburg. The Provincial Health Department says the patient visited a clinic in the city with symptoms associated with mpox in mid-October. A laboratory test confirmed he had mpox. The department's Director of Environmental Health and Communicable Diseases, Babongile Mhlongo, says the case is still managed in hospital. This year, South Africa had 12 mpox cases, of which 8 are in the Gauteng province and 2 in KwaZulu-Natal. Mhlongo says people should visit their nearest health facility if they have symptoms like fever, headache, muscle pain or a rash.
The important thing is to visit the nearest facility, and so where you can get a correct diagnosis and you can be able, where you then fit in the criteria of getting vaccines, you can get vaccine. We do have mpox vaccine, and we are urging communities to go to their nearest facilities. We can arrange that you get this mpox if you are meeting the criteria.
As the spotlight turns to Cameroon ahead of President Paul Biya's inauguration for a new 7-year term, the ceremony takes place under mounting political tension. Opposition parties have rejected the results of the October 12 election, calling for nationwide protests and lockdowns. This week on Channel Africa Conversations podcast, Peter Ndoro hosted political analyst Paul Lanchang as well as Michael Taki from the Coalition of Cameroon Federalist Groups and activists to unpack the contested results, the human rights concerns, and what federalist reforms could mean for Cameroon's political future. On whether this has been President Paul Biya's toughest test, political analyst Paul Lanchang says this is the first of many. Let's take a listen.
No, for me, Paul Biya, he has just survived. I think he has survived the first toughest test. I think the next toughest test is going to be the legislative elections, because of course that's what many are waiting for. Then the next equally as well is because many young Cameroonians and many Cameroonians, quite honestly, feel that this is a mandate of transition.
That was political analyst Paul Lanchang speaking to Peter Ndoro on Channel Africa Conversations podcast, reflecting on Cameroon's recent presidential elections. Recapping the top story this hour, the deputy leader of Tanzania's main opposition party, Chadema, is facing terrorism charges 2 weeks after his arrest in the capital, Dodoma. Doma. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. The afternoon conversations continue on the upside. Lifestyle, culture, and global changes. Right here on Channel Africa, The African Perspective.
7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. It's the golden hour, the middle hour of the upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Download our brand new app as well. We've got a brand new app, Channel Africa app. Go to your Play Store, iOS or your Android device and search Channel Africa. So you can stream us live on that app, check out our lineup, read up about the presenters, get to know us a bit better, and also relive some of the conversations through our podcasts. And as always, you can check out all the amazing work that Channel Africa is doing at the moment. We've got an interesting conversation coming up in this hour. We're celebrating art with the SABC. These are your kind of things. Mmatsheko Mosito.
Art. I like that. You just needed to do this. Art. That's what we're talking about indeed. An exhibition is coming our way that really tells South Africa's story through the eyes of the artist. It's known as Still We Rise, or titled Still We Rise, as presented by Ifaletu Foundation in partnership with SABC Art Collection. So we're going to talk about how they're bringing together artworks created during the apartheid years and beyond, which is really, it already tells me this is a well-researched project, and the fact that the SABC Art Collection is involved should tell you something, because if you've been particularly to the SABC Radio Park building, as soon as you walk through come up the lift, get through the security gates, or the security protocol, as it were, there's walls filled with art, okay? And it's been the case forever and a day, okay? Since this establishment has, since the beginning of time, okay? That's been the case. And the artwork and the collection at the South African Broadcast Corporation is so big. And I always get so jealous because every time or every couple of months they change the artwork. You know, you'll see stuff by William Kentridge, and then you'll see a different artist, and then you'll see photography by Alf Kumalo coming up. So there's a whole lot of art on the walls at the Radio Park that, listen, it deserves to be seen. It deserves to be seen. So we're going to talk about this wonderful collaboration between the SABC, as it were, and Ifaletu Foundation, and talk about where it's going to be showcased. I know it's going to be somewhere in Johannesburg.
No, listen. Well, yes, at the Keys Art Mile. We'll talk more about it later. Some of the artwork. I
knew you have an opinion about it. Tell us.
No, let's be honest. Some of the artwork looks back at you. No, there's some artwork that
there's movement.
No, that follows you. No, especially in the evening. You come in the evening at the SABC,
Wow,
you see certain artwork. They move those ones. They have
They have legs.
No,
And they breathe.
They breathe. Some of them even speak. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. That's it.
I love that for your imagination. It means it's healthy.
It's not my imagination. It's the artwork comes alive. 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. It's the second hour, the golden hour of the Upside. Don't go anywhere.
With gratitude for the voices, the rhythm, and the dreams that unite us all.
Roho ya Afrika inaishi katika kila hadithi tunayosimulia.
Each new day is a gift, a reminder to pause, to breathe, and to give thanks for the laughter we share and the journeys we take and the stories that shape who we are.
Cada nascer do sol, que lembre que há algo pelo qual ser grato.
La vie est un voyage, parcourons-la avec gratitude.
Channel Africa. Celebrate the beauty of life with gratitude for the voices, the rhythms, and the dreams that unite us all. This is Africa with Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Le monde entier a les yeux rivés sur Johannesburg. Les dirigeants des plus grandes économies mondiales se réunissent pour prendre des décisions qui façonneront les nations, les marchés et l'avenir. Vous savez déjà que Channel Africa sera sur place pour vous proposer des débats, des analyses et des points de vue essentiels. Suivez le sommet du G20 les 22 et 23 novembre en direct de l'Afrique. Restez connectés sur Channel Africa.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Your afternoons just got even better. Fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
Early mama on your phone, I they call, baby. 247, maybe you, I they want, baby. While I know yawa for you, baby. Chai, pack well and balance well for me. Yeah. Baby, baby, oh, baby. Baby, baby. Baby, baby, oh, baby. Well and balance well for me.
No time for chit chat. I want you to pull me closer, baby. Oh, miss you, I can't lie. We don't build love where distance no fit corrupt. No yawa, oh, baby, tell me no yawa, oh. Back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, I know say things no balance, but you don't try for me. Yeah, yeah, and I go give you joy, cause I know strong man go there for me.
Yeah, good for you. Don't go give you story. Who wanna give you story now? So back well and balance well for me.
Yeah, baby, oh, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Baby, baby, oh, baby. Baby, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby. Baby, baby, oh, baby.
Child, back well and balance well for me.
15 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Park Well by Tiwa Savage featuring Davido. Some art in the musical space. Now let's celebrate some art in collaboration with the SABC and Ifaletu. I think that's going to be an amazing showcase and exhibition. It's going to be featuring works and artists collected during the period of exile, apartheid era, post-apartheid. So it's going to be quite a fascinating one.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's called Still We Rise, and it's going to be making its debut at the Atrium Keys Art Mile in Johannesburg from the 30th of October and will be running until the 23rd of November. So it's actually on as we speak. All right. This is an exhibition that coincides with the G20 summit, offering an opportunity to share the resilience, courage, and creativity of South African artists. Let's talk about it. Dr. Narissa Ramdani is joining us in their capacity as director of the Ifaletu Foundation. Dr. Narissa, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to Channel Africa.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for the time. Let's talk about this. Very significant when we look at the space of art and creativity, not only for storytelling, but also for the preservation of history. Let's talk about the significance of repatriating these artworks. You know, what were you considering in terms of creating space for apartheid art to come alive at this particular time?
You know, I think we've got to go back to why we started this project in the first place. You know, we were approached by Australian diplomats who were posted here in the apartheid era with a view to donating artwork that they had purchased during that time in the 60s and 70s. Now, if it wasn't for them, we would not have realized that such creativity existed in South Africa. Because after all, you know, the apartheid government led us to believe that as Africans, we had no artistic skills. And so, you know, finding that art at that point through this donation has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And also for those artists, remember, who created this art, it left the country and it returned in 2005. So it was a very poignant event for them to see their artworks return. As it was now, when we opened the exhibition, there were artists here whose art is on exhibition, and we're part of this repatriation. And remember, repatriating this artwork allows us to tell a story through the eyes of these artists who were silenced at home but found recognition abroad. And, you know, I think also we have to thank, you know, these diplomats because they were visionaries. They saw the value of this art, they purchased it and decided to return it to a free South Africa. You know, without us having to pay for a penny for them. And today we have repatriated over 700 pieces from 16 countries. And what it shows is the collaboration of the world during apartheid. And, you know, the global scene was such that they collected our art with a view to giving it back to us, and in so doing, preserve our artistic heritage and showcase the skills of these artists. So I think, you know, that's the value. So, and I think now, as we welcome the world to Johannesburg for the G20, we want visitors to understand South Africa beyond the headlines that they always see. Because these works remind us of the resilience of our artists, their determination to rise above adversity, and their refusal to be silenced. So, you know, that's the value of repatriation. So, this is a very, very powerful exhibition that we've put up, taking these two collections, one that's been repatriated and another from the SABC that was purchased by them over the years. So it brings together these two collections with a view to showcasing to heads of state and their delegations what artistic skill resides in our country.
Still We Rise. This is a brand new exhibition from the Ifaletu Foundation in collaboration with the SABC Art Collection. And we'll continue our conversation with Dr. Narissa right after this.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kwaduli bwanji ndi Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Channel Africa.
Your Africa, your voice, your channel. Channel Africa.
The African perspective.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
We're joined on the line by Dr. Narissa Ramdani, director of the Ifaletu Foundation, to reflect on how art became a voice of protest and continues to serve as a mirror for our national consciousness. They've repatriated some artwork during the apartheid era, and an exhibition that is titled Still We Rise. It's currently on in collaboration between the Ifaletu Foundation and the SABC Art Collection. Dr. Narissa, let's talk about the curation of these works. You had mentioned that some of them have been donated from the SABC, but let's talk about some of the other work that has been repatriated, especially during the exile period, and some of the stories that you can share from those artists who were sharing their artwork globally, but not necessarily being appreciated here in South Africa.
Okay, let me just clarify. The SABC did not donate artwork to us. They've loaned us their selected artworks from their collection to be exhibited. But, you know, it's, as I said, this is it was a journey. Ifaletu is now 20 years old. We were born in November of 2005. 2005, and we have now kicked off our 20-year celebrations for the next year to celebrate everything we've done. But, you know, when you look at art being created at this time, before I talk about the artist, I think it's also important to state that it was created during the time of the cultural boycott. And our artists were not exposed to international art.
Okay.
So what they had done is that they created their own style. So it's the repatriated art or the struggle era art has a distinct style. And it was created to showcase the fact that there was life in the townships. In spite of the adversity, this is what the townships were like. It was vibrant in spite of the oppression. And I think also you have to remember that cultural heritage was employed as a weapon by all sides during the apartheid years, as a weapon of oppression by the state, as a weapon of resistance by the liberation movements. And today, Ifaletu uses it as a weapon to empower people and to build that bridge for cultural heritage, to break down cultural values, and to teach young South Africans how to transcend adversity and heal the nation. And having said that, if you look at the artists, this is what they were doing. You know, giving us a glimpse of life in the townships in that time, not realizing that this glimpse would travel through the world. And can you imagine the emotions when this artwork, when they saw it back in the country again? Now, there was one of the Australian diplomats who told us an interesting story. How is it that these artworks were bought by diplomats? She used to host cocktail parties in her apartment in Pretoria. And on Saturday afternoon, she used to invite other diplomats who were in the country at the time, and she used to invite artists to sell their artworks to these diplomats. And she courted arrest because here was a white woman inviting white people and black artists into her apartment. So fortunately, she evaded arrest because she of diplomatic immunity. And so, when artists hear this, and can you imagine them having seen their art come back? And, they were art which was done by people like Tami Mnyele, who was shot by security police in Swaziland. Then you've got art pieces done by Dumeli Feni, Gerard Sekoto. And actually now, when we opened the exhibition, it was opened by Dikobe Benedict Martins, as you know, who was incarcerated in Robben Island. He held, after 1994, he held many ministerial positions, but continues to support and be involved in art. And so, having him really open this exhibition was very important because, as exhibitions are a dialogue between the artist and the piece of art. So we were privileged to have that conversation opened for us by a voice of extraordinary clarity and vision through his art, which features in the exhibition. So he lends a particular perspective to a global dialogue. Now, this reminds us that art is not merely an accessory to diplomacy, but it's a fundamental language of human connection. So that's what makes this exhibition so powerful. There are so many stories around it, and so much went into locating these pieces all over the world and bringing them back and showing them to South Africa because our exhibitions have always been premier exhibitions for premier milestones. They were exhibited for the 2010 Soccer World Cup. 24,000 visitors viewed them. It was exhibited for the 20 year of democracy, the 30 years of democracy. It was exhibited at the Lord Mayor's Mansion in London for the 20 years of democracy. It was exhibited in London at the invitation of the Prime Minister of the UK for the 2012 Olympic Games.
Dr.
So
Narissa?
we brought them back, but we still take them throughout the world.
Dr. Narissa, thank you so much. I think in the interest of time, we've just got one more question, if we could keep it pithy.
Sure.
Let's talk about, I think also it's important for us to acknowledge the current time that we're in and the significance of this work in the now, because we mentioned in our introduction before we spoke to you that this is an exhibition that coincides with the G20 summit. So in your field of work as an academic in politics and international relations, matters of heritage and culture and creativity and the development thereof, let's talk about the significance of the work now very quickly, Doc, and also how it coincides with the G20, as it were.
Still We Rise recognizes the collective spirit of resistance, solidarity, and shared survival. Now, in the current world context of rising authoritarianism, systematic inequality, environmental devastation, these artworks are more than an archival honoring. They speak to us as we face our own struggles, and they remind us of the courage it takes to express ourselves truly and the power of art as a mode of soul connection, healing, internationalism, and vital solidarity. So I think that's why having it now was so important to us. And remember, we live in a modern world. We are interconnected and we are impacted by events thousands of miles away. and we witness war and suffering in all parts of the world,
Right.
and therefore this collection,
Okay.
assists in that.
Okay, this has been so wonderful, and I feel like we need another round table with you, Dr. Nerissa. Thank you so much for the time. Just make sure that you catch Still We Rise. It is currently showing at the Atrium, Keys Art Mile, and it runs until the 23rd of this month. That's November 2025. Dr. Nerissa Ramdani joining us in her capacity as Director of Ifaletu Foundation. 2:31, let's cross to the sports desk with Figile Lengwadi.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Now, sports update. Let's begin with netball news. The Spar Proteas held a successful netball clinic in South Africa's Mbombela in Mpumalanga, where the players reached out to young netball players in the region. Over 200 young learners from schools around the Greater Mbombela area attended the clinic and were thrilled to meet their heroes, who recently returned from a tour of New Zealand and Australia. The Spar Proteas players included Mpumalanga province-based captain Khanyisa Chawani, who's delighted with the initiative.
The clinic was amazing. Loved every moment of it. Even the kids that were there, you could see from them that they were willing to learn. They were open to doing everything that we were really teaching them. So this was an amazing initiative from SPAR to really give us an opportunity to come to a place like Mbombela, where they didn't even really expect Proteas and the Proteas coach to be in their vicinity, and us being here, you could already see how excited they were. I enjoyed every moment, and it was really a success.
On to rugby news. The reigning World Cup champions South Africa are gearing up for a French team still hurting from the 2023 Rugby World Cup quarter-final defeat in Paris. The Springboks started their 5-test tour of Europe with an emphatic victory over Japan in London last weekend. But the three colors France, who desperately want revenge following their 1-point defeat at the Stade de France in 2023, will pose a much bigger threat on Saturday. And box number 8, Jasper Wiese, says they'll have to duplicate that attitude and physicality in Paris on Saturday against a French side still hurting from the 2023 World Cup loss.
France have made a statement in the last couple of years with their physicality and how big they are. So I think Saturday is definitely going to be the same again. Two big packs colliding against each other. And I think we're looking forward to the challenge. We analysed them all this week, and like you said, the French have a big team, and I think that's definitely going to be the where it comes down to both of the forwards packs, just who's going to get dominated or who's going to dominate who. So I think all of us are looking forward to that.
On to football news. Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has named his 22-man squad for the international friendly against Zambia, scheduled to take place in Gqeberha on the 15th of November. Broos has stuck to the bulk of his 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying squad that has done duty in recent months, with several foreign Blaze players called up despite the friendly nature of the fixture. Aside from Sekhukhune United star midfielder Keletso Makhalwa, all departments remain consistent, with the Belgian explaining that he's focused on preparing for next month's Africa Cup of Nations. Bafana will face Zambia at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium on the 15th of November in the final FIFA international window of the year, before the AFCON kicks off in Morocco on the 21st of December 2025. Let's wrap it up with volleyball. Kenya's Muhuru Bay in Migori County is set to host the National Beach Volleyball Championship on the 13th to the 15th of December. In a statement, Kenya Volleyball Federation's KVF Beach Volleyball Chairperson Moses Mbuthia says the choice of venue is part of the bigger plan of popularizing the sport all over the country and tapping emerging talents. This year's competition marks the third edition of the annual tournament, which has usually been held in the form of a circuit with multiple stops across the country. The last edition of the competition was held in Diani this year, where Gaudentia Mukoka and Posca Kasisi were crowned champions. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lengwadi.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you'll be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
36 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's find out how the markets are moving with Nosipho Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, Kenyan telecoms company Safaricom has reported a 55% rise in its half-year profit, helped by a smaller loss in key expansion market in Ethiopia. Safaricom posted a group operating profit of $505.62 million in the 6 months to end of September and maintained its full-year guidance. Steady growth in its Kenya business have continued to be the main profit driver, while its reported loss in Ethiopia dropped by 59% compared to the first half of the previous financial year, which was heavily impacted by depreciation of the birr currency. Now, this Responsible Gambling Month in South Africa, a new report has revealed that financial desperation is driving cash-strapped South Africans towards a high-risk gambling as a perceived income solution. Just Money's inaugural Money and Me survey found that those earning less than $286 per month are 4 times more likely to choose online gambling over safer cost-cutting options. Experts are now cautioning that this reckless behavior quickly leads to debt, strained relationships and job loss. Just Money's Sarah Nicholson says they are advocating for low-risk alternatives like side hustles and stricter budgeting.
We saw that gambling is actually seen as a income-stretching option for many of those people who can actually least afford it. So what this month is really doing is just highlighting the importance of ensuring that you're educated, understand the risks of gambling, and really making sure that if it is something that someone is struggling with, that you have some way and understanding of how to actually get some help towards that.
Maritime security firm Embry says that a Malta-flagged products tanker has reportedly been boarded by pirates offshore Somalia. In a statement, the company says that the pirates were reported to have approached on a skiff and opened fire on the tanker, adding that the pirates were operating from a hijacked Iranian-flagged Adhow. The vessel was en route from Siga in India to Durban in South Africa. In a separate statement, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations UKMTO agency said unauthorized people had boarded a vessel southeast of Ale, Somalia. It is not clear whether Embry and the UKMTO are referring to the same incident, but their statements both give similar distances from Somalia's coast. Meta internally projected late last year that it would earn about 10% of its overall annual revenue, or $16 billion, from running advertising for scams and banned goods. Now, this is according to internal company documents. A cache of previously unreported documents reviewed by Reuters also shows that the social media giant for at least 3 years failed to identify and stop an avalanche of ads that exposed Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp to billions of users to fraudulent e-commerce and investment schemes, illegal online casinos, and the sale of banned medical products. On average, 1 December 2024 document notes the company shows its platform use an estimated 15 billion higher risk of scam advertisements at those that show clear signs of being fraudulent every day. Meta earns about $7 billion in annualized revenue from the category of scam ads each year, another late 2024 document states. And finally, Tesla shareholders will decide today whether to pay CEO Elon Musk up to $878 billion. But the high-profile vote is only one of several proposals that could reshape the electric vehicle maker's future, from the board's power to whether Tesla should invest in Musk's artificial intelligence firm XAI. The results of the pay vote are expected during the annual general meeting at the company's factory in Austin, Texas. Passage of the payday would be a vote of confidence in Musk's leadership and his vision of transforming the company into an AI and robotic juggernaut. A rejection could create turmoil. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,440. In Botswana, it's 13 Pula 35. For Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 26, and in Zambia, it's 22 kwacha 37. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 ril 38. Russia is 81 rubles 18. India is 88 rupees 65. China at 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 13. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,012 and platinum at $1,567 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $64.23 a barrel. Now, for any business stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kutuli bwanji ndi Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Listen in on Channel Africa.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko on the upside.
You know, you don't know.
It's a song about it.
Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business.
Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Put me to work all day, put me to work all night. Nobody can do it better, make me feel alright. Anything you wanna do, I'm down with you. Anytime, any day, I go show face, cause you're sweeter than honey. Baby, you deserve a trophy. This kind of thing gon' make me marry you, long as you no treat me corny. Give me love, oh, give me love, oh, give me love. Give me love, oh, give me love, oh, give me love. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now.
Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business.
You should let me hold you, you should let me love you. And when you fall in, say na me go catch you. I know your friends don't want me around you. They know nothing, they don't understand you. My baby now my banana multi elevate. And when she there with me, I concentrate. That's why I tell them mother gets to wait.
Baby, one yo. Waiting you give me no money can buy. Even if una jara, oh, I go throw it. Baby, one yo. Waiting you give me no money can buy. Even if una jara, oh, I go throw it. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now. Give me love, oh, baby, give me, make her calm down. Give me love, oh, cause I really need it right now.
Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business. Love is a drug, and I'm addicted. Pull up, show up, and handle business.
Give me love. I see was on that, featuring Rundown. It's 13 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. We get ready now for What Caught Your Eye. No doubt what we're going to be sharing today on What Caught Your Eye is stories that you are already familiar with. You might have seen it on social media, trending, and we're looking forward to sharing those with you. You're more than welcome to chime in the comments section on social media at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, and please share what caught your eye. We've got a WhatsApp line. Our WhatsApp line, send us a voice note, +27 63 406 9126. All right, let's take a quick breather. When we get back, it's time for What Caught Your Eye.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix. Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki yao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanataka kuhubiria muziki ya zamani, hizo muziki za wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia mara mbili sivyo, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aizani, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's time for What Caught Your Eye. And Mosito, I'm going to be a gentleman today and allow you to share what caught your eye, because yours is a very interesting one, and it's one that makes me say, whew, finally.
Oh my goodness. Talk about finally. Listen, we need double glasses for this one, because it's like Unbelievable. But here we are. And I think many people are, look, I believe in numerology. Lots of people are wrapping up a year of 9, which is the year of completion. And 2026 is going to be the year of 1 for some, which means it is the year of new beginnings. So as we wrap up the year of 9, we are being informed by credible news sources, including SABC News, and other news agents, about the Vodacom and Kenneth Nkosana Makate case that we have been watching for the last 106 years. No, I'm exaggerating. But it has been nearly 2 decades of legal battles between Vodacom and Nkosana Makate. They have seemingly reached an out-of-court settlement. Can you actually believe those words? Out-of-court settlement, okay? Over the Please Call Me feature on the 4th of November 2023, which basically means that they're ending a dispute that began in the year 2001 was when this dispute began. Makate claimed Vodacom had promised to compensate him for the idea, and a claim to the company was initially then denied, and then court cases continued for several years, several court cases, courts up and down, major turning points happening in the year 2016, I beg your pardon, when South Africa's Constitutional Court ruled that Makate was entitled to negotiate a reasonable compensation. I think at some point it was 146 million or something to that effect. I stand to be corrected. But the settlement brings a final closure, or this particular settlement brings a final closure to one of South Africa's longest running corporate legal disputes in the history of legal disputes. Amen, hallelujah. We are happy to report that there has been a settlement. And Nkosana is 49 years old this year.
Imagine that. 17 years of those 49.
So listen, he is going to be cruising. Bona. He's going to be doing this into his golden years. I'm very happy for him, and credit needs to be given where it's due, and finances need to go into that credit as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems like one of those David and Goliath stories. Finally got to
Beautiful
a
analogy,
conclusion.
yes.
Because at some point, I know Vodacom were offering him about 49 or 40 something million rand. He was like, nope, this thing is worth more. I want 10 billion rand. That's how much money I want. The Supreme Court appeal, or the SCA, had ruled at some point that he should be entitled to about 5% or something of the turnover, or of the turnover of the service over the period, and interest as well. But the Constitutional Court had ruled that no, they had overlooked certain procedures there, and that it was a bit exaggerated what they were asking for. But nonetheless, he was asking at some point for 10 billion rand. Vodacom at some point were offering him 49 million rand. They've now reached an out-of-court agreement, and we are going to see, because it's going to be stated in Vodacom's financials. They're going to come out sometime in November, the 10th of November, somewhere there. We'll see exactly how much, because it hasn't been disclosed publicly how much it is. But
there were assumptions, though.
What are you assuming?
No, I saw an assumption, and I don't know where that assumption comes from, or if it's based on fact. What I saw online, allegedly, apparently, it's going to be somewhere to the tune of 3 billion.
3 billion.
But of course, we're going to have to wait for the official report from the service provider to confirm that amount.
That's quite a large amount there.
That is listen. We're balling.
I mean, deservedly so.
Yes.
Because this platform did generate quite a bit of money for Vodacom. I mean, some sources are also saying anywhere from 350 to about 700 and something million rand. Based on what they're predicting the financials are going to come out for Vodacom. So they're saying that is the sort of amount, the ballpark that they're working with, from 300 to 700 million rand. Is it fair? I mean, it must be for Nkosana to be like, okay, you know what, it's fine now. We fought and we've come to a conclusion. And I think after so many years, legal fees, psychologically, emotionally, draining this process, for him to have also said, you know what, okay, I agree with what you are putting to the table, it must have been quite a lucrative one. So whether it is between 300 and 700 million, or whether it is in the billions of rands, we are just grateful that it is finalized after 17 years. David won. Well, we don't know how much he won, but he won.
But he won, and we're grateful. Moral of the story, continue to fight for what you believe you deserve.
And good point, sir. Another point we need to raise is when you do bring ideas to work that ultimately bring in profits for the company. I mean, unless you have it in writing that, hey, listen, you are entitled to compensation for this value that you are bringing. For the most part, it is hidden in your contracts that when you do bring ideas, oh, it's fine, it belongs to the company you work for. Sometimes you don't get compensated for that. We need to read the fine prints on our contracts, especially when it comes to intellectual property, and be very smart about why we are signing, and if we need to negotiate certain things, and the ideas we are bringing to the company. Because don't bring all those ideas that are going to add value to the company if it's written in black and white that those ideas belong to the entity where you work.
So your moral of the story is be precious about your ideas.
Your ideas are so important. Your ideas are absolutely important. So put something on there. Put it on a contract. Wherever you go, you don't just give ideas. Here's what caught my eye, right? Some not changes, but there's going to be some introductions on the administration adjudication of road traffic offences ARTO system in South Africa, because from the 1st of December 2025, 69 municipalities in South Africa will embark on a new era with the ARTO system. And so what does this mean for you and me, drivers on South African roads?
Please
right?
speak English.
Here we go.
I'm worried now.
It means now that fines will follow you home. And because in the past, if you received a ticket in Cape Town, for example, and you are based in Gauteng,
right?
There was no single system tracking all your fines, apparently, right? Now, ARTO will become a national platform system, so it won't matter where you got the ticket from, it will find you. Cape Town, Kuruman, wherever, and you're based in, it will find you, right? And now traffic fines will be served electronically on your phone and or email, ensuring that you are informed. You're no longer complaining that, hey, I wasn't able to go to the post office to see that I got a fine. And you will have 32 days from the date you receive your notice to pay the fine at a discounted fee of 50%. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that when you get a fine, you can pay up to 50% if you paid within a specific period of time. Should you fail, you'll have to pay the full amount. You will not be able to renew your license until all outstanding fines are paid. All outstanding fines are paid. There will be a point system that will be rolled out. It had started in September, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't know if some people have already received certain points or demerits, and it will be linked to your fines. We will all start on 0 and accumulate demerit points each time we commit a traffic violation. All right. The consequences, very important that we note these. Your license will be suspended for 3 months if you reach 15 points, giving you some time to just slow down and think about what you're doing on the road. So your license will be suspended for 3 months if you reach 15 points. If you get 3 suspensions, your license will be cancelled. However, 1 point will be removed every 3 months should you have no infringements, offering you a second chance. So be very wary this festive season, what you're doing on the road. I know sometimes we end up driving 80 in a 60 zone thinking, nothing's going to happen. Maybe I'll get a ticket. Now you're going to get points. Using my phone while I'm driving, not fastening my seatbelt while I'm driving, you're going to get points. Accumulate enough points, they'll cancel your license, and that is going to be a problem. And they're going to be quite strict on this. How whether it's going to be rolled out effectively and people are actually going to be held accountable for the recklessness on the road, we are yet to see. But these are the rules that they're putting out and the system that they're putting out to South Africans. So be aware on the road.
Listen to you. Do you work for the department? Sheesh. I got scared just listening to you. Did they hire you to tell us this and frighten us?
I am the ambassador. No, I'm joking. 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news with Jolani Tulongwepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories. Asawa civil society organizations in South Africa issue a strong call to G20 leaders and attackers board a ship off the coast of Somalia. Good afternoon. Civil society organizations in South Africa under the Civil 20 or C20 platform have issued a strong call to G20 leaders to prioritize solidarity, equality and sustainability ahead of the upcoming summit. Speaking at a media briefing in Pretoria, C20 leadership unveiled their political declaration, an agenda shaped by the voices of over 3,000 organizations from South Africa, across Africa and the world. South Africa's C20 Sherpa Mabalani Mfundisi emphasized the urgent need for increased investment in the global south to bolster research, development and fair international cooperation. South Africa's Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi says all citizens deserve quality health care regardless of their socio-economic status. Motsoaledi was speaking at the G20 Health Ministers meeting in Polokwane in the Limpopo province. Motsoaledi says that they will collaborate with countries such as Norway, which already has universal health care, to ensure that the National Health Insurance or NHI benefits all citizens.
We need robust regulatory guardrails, learning from global examples, to ensure public financing remains central. Health cannot just be a question of who has got more money. It's a fundamental human right. We must defend it from forces that prioritize financial returns and profits over human dignity and survival.
A 40-year-old man from the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands in South Africa is being treated for mpox in the Northdale Hospital in Pietermaritzburg. The Provincial Health Department says the patient visited a clinic in the city with symptoms associated with mpox in mid-October. A laboratory test has confirmed that he has mpox. The department's Director of Environmental Health and Communicable Disease, Babongile Mhlongo, says the case is still managed in hospital. This year, South Africa had 12 mpox cases, of which 8 are in Gauteng and 2 in KwaZulu-Natal. Mhlongo says people should visit their nearest health facility if they have symptoms like fever, headache, muscle pain and a rash.
The important thing is to visit the nearest facility, and so where you can get a correct diagnosis and you can be able, where you then fit in the criteria of getting vaccines, you can get vaccine. We do have mpox vaccine, and we are urging communities to go to their nearest facilities. We can arrange that you get this mpox if you are meeting the criteria.
Attackers have boarded a ship off the coast of Somalia after firing machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades at the vessel. Greek shipping company Latsko Marine Management confirmed the attack on a ship carrying gasoline, saying all the ship's 24 crew were safe and accounted for. And finally, the Czech Republic centre-right government, led by Prime Minister Petr Fiala, has agreed to resign following the October electoral victory of populist billionaire Andrej Babis. Despite the resignation, Fiala and his cabinet will continue to manage the country's affairs until the new government formed by Babis is officially sworn in. The process is expected to take several weeks as President Peter Pavel needs to formally appoint the incoming ministers. Recapping the top story, the Saba civil society organizations in South Africa under the Civil 20 or C20 platform have issued a strong call to G20 leaders to prioritize solidarity, equality and sustainability ahead of the upcoming summit. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulongwepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
Is this how we're gatewaying now? Yeah. Wow.
6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Hey, it's the final hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective with our brand new sick tune. What do you think? What do you think? Let us know on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And that's where you can also stream us on our social media platforms. Download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can stream the shows, check out the lineup, learn more about the presenters, see all the amazing work that Channel Africa is doing behind the scenes. What's coming up in this hour, the final hour? Mmatsheko, Mosito, I understand that it has to do with luxury goods and luxury items, but more so from an investment point of view, not just as a splurge.
You know what I love about this day and age, and the fact that we are all facing mounting insecurity economically, is that we're just looking around us. You know, we're finding money in the soil. We're finding money with our assets that are around us in our homes, you know, even on our wrists, if you will believe it. All right. So we are looking at ways to secure wealth and looking at sort of, I don't know if we could call them non-traditional ways to invest.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're going to have our good friends at Lekhuleni back on the show. The last time we spoke to the founder, Michael, of Lekhuleni, we were talking about handbags. And how they were, or how they are basically getting second-hand luxury handbags and resell, and they are the official resellers of those particular handbags, is what I'm trying to say. But also we are looking at, or with them we're going to be looking at today, revelations around a 2025 report that talks about the Swift luxury watches space, jewelry, handbags are in there as well, but also how people can actually make money off of pre-owned Rolex watches and other brands of the same caliber. So we're going to have Michael back on the show in his capacity as co-founder of Lekhuleni, which is a South African leading pre-owned luxury, I think that's how we say it.
Luxury.
You see now, you're spoiling it now. Luxury marketplace. Okay, we're going to talk about the space of watches, which is really, really fascinating.
Oh, it's an ideal time to, if you own a Rolex right now, you better hold on to that thing. You better hold on, because that value is going to increase and increase over time as it stands through this report. When you're owning these timepieces and even pre-owned ones, the value of them at times even surpasses and outperforms traditional investments by over 100%. Ha! This is a conversation you need to be a part of. Don't go anywhere. It's 9 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The music that talks to your soul. On Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
9:15 on the digital clock. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside. Traveling to Gabon with Seva. That's the title of that song by Oliver Ngoma coming through. And isn't that a beautiful thing that his surname is Ngoma or Ngoma? And in translation, that would translate to song in the Nguni languages here in South Africa. Thanks for being with us. We're talking luxurious items, not for the sake of talking about it, but really how you can see investment in that.
100%. Luxury goods as financial assets. Well, you have to think twice now before you call that handbag splurge. Just a splurge. You know, when you're in a relationship and your partner's like, please get me a handbag. You're like, no, like it's so expensive. It's an investment, my brother. It's an investment.
I love it.
Because across South Africa, savvy investors are turning to luxury watches, handbags, and jewelry as serious assets. According to the new State of the Luxury Market in Africa report, some pre-owned pieces like Rolexes are outperforming traditional investments by over 100%. In a volatile economy, luxury is proving not just stylish, but strategic. To break it all down, we are joined by Michael Zaharif, co-founder of Luxity, South Africa's leading pre-owned luxury marketplace. Michael, always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time. Since this report came out, have you seen more people buy from Luxity over the past couple of weeks?
Well, it's funny that you ask, but there has been a lot of news recently, particularly around Rolex as an investment. And we have actually seen some clients approaching us, to purchase some Rolexes for their investment value. So I do believe that there is certainly aptitude in the market. But what's more interesting is that the report talks about the performance of what consumers are doing in the past year. And just from the report, we're actually able to derive that consumers are not only looking at buying pre-owned in terms of what the most popular brands are, but they're also choosing which brands are going to give them a return, which brands aren't going to lose their value over time, and that's impacting their purchasing decisions. So this kind of rise of what we call the savvy shopper, someone who's a lot more conscious of the fact that these items, they might not make a profit on them, but they are going to get some money back. There is some kind of a value to this. And depending on which ones you pick, you're going to end up with more or less money in your pocket when you do choose to sell the goods and move on to another one.
Watches are particularly interesting, Michael, and as I understand it, the report also speaks about how pre-owned items, mentioning Rolex watches in particular, and how they are outperforming brand new purchases. What do we attribute this to?
Well, there's a very low supply of Rolex. So what some of your listeners and viewers might not know is that for a Rolex, you can't simply just walk in and purchase a Rolex. It doesn't work that way, even if you can afford one. There's long waiting lists, and especially for some of the more rare models, the sports models, they're very long waiting lists. So what happens in the market is because of these waiting lists and so much demand for this brand, over time, if you're looking to purchase one, people are willing to pay more for a second-hand Rolex than a new one because you just don't have access to a new one. So essentially what that means is if you do get access to a new one because you're a good customer of theirs or you've built a reputation with Rolex, that's what determines if they'll sell you a new one, especially the more rare models. Then you could essentially purchase that watch and resell it for more than you purchased it immediately on the second-hand market. And our report indicates that in South Africa, based on our data, it's selling at 26% more than what it is selling new on the second-hand market.
Yowza.
These are very impressive numbers, Michael, that you're bringing to the table. We're talking luxury goods as financial assets, and we'll continue our conversation with Michael Zaharif, co-founder of Luxity, South Africa's leading pre-owned luxury marketplace.
Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Mix Vibration sur Channel Africa.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a amené à dire ça? Est-ce que vous avez observé un certain nombre d'événements dans la vie? Est-ce que c'était par rapport à une expérience? Est-ce que vous avez rencontré des choses qui vous ont dit, il faut de la patience, comme ça les choses vont venir au bon moment et les bons dieux pourra peut-être me visiter?
Oui, c'était justement un conseil que le Seigneur m'a fait inspirer pour donner à son peuple, parce qu'il y a la plupart des gens, pendant que Dieu bénit les autres, ils pensent que Dieu les a oubliés, et pendant que Dieu ouvre pour les autres, ils pensent que peut-être Dieu n'a pas pu écouter leurs prières. Alors, ce n'est pas le cas. Alors, Dieu bénit tout un chacun de nous avec son temps. Donc, le temps de Dieu est toujours le meilleur dans la vie de tout un chacun de nous.
Mix Vibration, tous les dimanches de 18h à 19h, temps universel.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Buying a luxury item now is no longer just a splurge or just to, have something that looks nice. It can actually be an investment that outperforms traditional investments. And we're currently in conversation with Michael Zaharif, co-founder of Luxity, South Africa's leading pre-owned luxury marketplace. Michael, let's talk about some of the items that we need to look out for. Yes, we touched on Rolexes, right? And a great return on investment there. And what about handbags? Are there certain brands at the moment, handbags or even bracelets, that we need to look out for? I know Cartier is one of those, but I've also seen the likes of Louis Vuitton, whose market value hasn't increased over a period of time. It actually has decreased right now as it stands, especially with someone like you who works in this space. What are those luxury items that we need to look out for right now as a great or a smart investment option?
So one of the rules of when you're looking to look for something that's going to return value or grow in value over time is the heritage pieces, the pieces that have been around for sometimes many decades. And in particular, the brands that have these heritage pieces. So for example, some of the greatest returning assets, and one which we measure year on year, is the Chanel double flap or single flap bag. This is an item that Chanel has had around for many decades. And over every year, Chanel is increasing the price of the new one between 10 and 20%. Now, because the secondhand market is priced based on the current new market, that means if you own one, a secondhand one, every year your secondhand value of that bag is increasing by 10 or 20% because the new prices. So a Chanel flat bag is a great example of an appreciating handbag that over time will grow in value. Currently, just to give you some figures, a Chanel double flat bag new is around 190,000, and on the pre-owned market is trading at about 140,000 rand. Whoa. So these are quite big values. Another famous one is the Hermes Birkin bag. That's the most famous handbag, arguably, and it comes in many varietals of different leathers. But a standard Hermes Birkin bag, new, is trading at around 200,000. Again, you cannot get access to this if you just have the 200,000, similar to the Rolex. And therefore, on the secondhand market, that same bag will trade between 400,000 to 600,000. So that's 2 to 3 times more expensive than the brand new one. So what the message here is, when we're looking at investment pieces, the lower the supply, if the brand's really controlling who has access to the items, the more you'll get in terms of return, because that demand isn't met. And particularly in South Africa, brands like Chanel and Hermes, they're not available. There are no Chanel or Hermes stores in terms of their handbags. So therefore, if you have access to those items in South Africa, they sell particularly well on the secondhand market.
This is fascinating. I mean, and every time we speak to you, it always just sounds like a masterclass in luxury items, especially in the pre-owned bracket. So walk us through it, okay? Maybe I'm new to this investment space and I've got some money to splurge. I don't know, I had a successful project, or I won the lotto, whatever the case is. But how can somebody actually evaluate whether a luxury item is a smart investment versus just luxury for Instagram purposes?
Well, I mean, our advice is always to, even though these do have an investment case and there is a return, it is important to always remember and purchase these with the love for the items. I think that any use case is going to begin with that. And even from an investment point of view, you still have to have knowledge. There are a lot of intricacies, besides the fact of these very popular, very well-known investment cases like the Chanel flap or the Hermes Birkin. When we're talking about, the broader range, you really have to have a market knowledge and a love for these brands. Once you have a love for the brands, you start to understand, within each brand, which model sells particularly well, which material is particularly well. Perhaps there's a bag that's about to be discontinued. If it's a very popular bag that's discontinued, then that's going to appreciate in value over time because, again, there'll be no access to it. So, it really starts with a passion and a love for a certain brand or a certain type of handbag, etc. And you build from it there. It's very difficult, like in any investment case, if you just come with very little knowledge and you're just looking, to make a purchase. That wouldn't work in property, it wouldn't work in stocks, and it's not really going to work in luxury handbags or watches, etc. So really, beginning with the passion is, I say, the best way to learn, get to know the brand, get to know what makes that brand famous, etc., and build from there. Of course, you can always talk to our consultants, but we're not there to sell you an investment piece. We're just there to show you, I think, as many people are seeing, that there are investment cases. And this really started with the pre-owned market becoming such a mainstream topic because people who bought a handbag 5 or 10 years ago were coming and selling it to Luxity, and they were saying to us, oh, wow, I actually got more than I paid for this 5 or 10 years ago, and that's where the realization that these assets actually have value and often grow in value came about.
Michael, speak to the younger audience who, because we're having these conversations, and for a younger audience, it may seem very far-fetched. You're talking big numbers here, investing in pre-owned luxury items. I can't even afford my rent. Where can we start? Where can young people start in investing? Yes, I mean, not necessarily that you are talking about investment, but how can we get into the pre-owned luxury space that is somewhat accessible to us, that we can grow this passion over a period of time?
Well, I think that's part of what makes the pre-owned space so exciting because it's not just the case that, you're getting a bit of a discount often on what the new item is, but it's also the fact that you can use different things like buy now, pay later, or a reservation system where you can pay it off over 2 or 3 months. Obviously, if you went to any of the new brands, they're not going to let you pay it off over 2 or 3 months. You either have the money or you don't. So I think these are things that the pre-owned market is creating access. Also, we deliver on, we sell online. The brands don't sell online. So that's giving access to certain individuals outside of the major cities, which is very important. Now, also what we see, and when we talk about the savvy consumer, is that it's not just about the money you spend. It's about the money you can get back when you sell the item. So if we imagined you can buy, for example, a secondhand Burberry coat from Luxity, new it's about 50,000. At Luxity, you're purchasing it for 20,000. Now, if you bought a new coat from, let's say, a fast fashion brand, you might spend 5,000. So yes, of course, it's 4 times more expensive. But now what we have to realize is you wear this coat for 2 years, you get tired of it, you come and trade it back. Over those 2 years, it would have appreciated in value. So perhaps you'll get back 12 or 14,000 for the coat. Therefore, your total spend will be roughly the same as if you bought a fast fashion item. The only difference is after 2 or 3 years, the fast fashion item will be broken or worn and won't have any resale value. So it's important to think about it is not just I'm buying something that's more expensive. I'm buying something that I can later sell and get a lot, if not all my money back, depending on the item that you've bought.
Yes. So if you have a passion for luxury brands or you want to grow your passion quick, fast, like Tebogo does, then go on luxity.co.za. There's quite a lot. I mean, in terms of brands, I'm just on the apparel banner, and there are so many brands from Dolce & Gabbana to Miu Miu to Vivienne Westwood, Tom Ford. Everything and anything that is luxury is on the website. So check it out when you have some time and get yourself a beautiful piece, all right, for Christmas. Michael, thank you. It's always just such a wonderful masterclass, as I've mentioned, to talk luxury brands, particularly when we look at South Africa as an example. Thank you for the time. Eh?
Great being with you today.
Awesome. Michael Zaharif, in his capacity, chatting to us as co-founder of Luxity, South Africa's leading pre-owned luxury marketplace. It is 3:30.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We begin with boxing news. South African boxer Siya Kuse's highly regarded trainer, Manny Fernandes, insists his men did enough to capture the WBC strawweight crown in Manila, but it simply wasn't meant to be. Kuse faced off against Melvin Jerusalem in the headline fight of the Thriller in Manila tribute event. The fight went the full 12 rounds, with Siya Kuse's producing most of the activity in the opening 10 rounds. Money fight fans and critics alike thought Kuse was the busier of the two boxers and therefore could have edged the result, but the three judges did not see it that way. On to football news. Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has named his 22-man squad for the international friendly against Zambia, scheduled to take place in Gqeberha on the 15th of November. Broos has stuck to the bulk of his 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying squad that has done duty in recent months, with several foreign-based players called up despite the friendly nature of the fixture. Aside from Sekhukhune United star midfielder Keletso Makgalwa, all departments remain consistent, with the Belgian explaining that he's focused on preparing for next month's Africa Cup of Nations. Bafana will face Zambia at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium on the 15th of November in the final FIFA international window of the year, before the AFCON kicks off in Morocco on the 21st of December 2025. The Spar Proteas held a successful netball clinic in Bombela, where the players reached out to young netball players in the region. Over 200 young learners from schools around the greater Mbombela area attended the clinic and were thrilled to meet their heroes, who recently returned from a tour of New Zealand and Australia. The Spar Proteas players included Mpumalanga Province base captain Khanyisa Chawane, who is delighted with the initiative.
The clinic was amazing. Loved every moment of it. Even the kids that you could see from them that they were willing to learn. They were open to doing everything that we were really teaching them. So this was an amazing initiative from SPAR to really give us an opportunity to come to a place like Mbombela, where they didn't even really expect Proteas and the Proteas coach to be in their vicinity, and us being here, you could already see how excited they were. I enjoyed every moment, and it was really a success.
Spar Lowveld marketing director Stella Adams was overjoyed with how the day played out.
We had expectations, but when we saw the players' faces and the coaches' intenseness while they were learning on the clinic, it was just overall such a resounding success. And from SPAR side, just to really highlight and bring the SPAR Proteas down to do this clinic and highlight the essential part of what netball means to our communities. This has really just been an amazing day of friends meeting friends, new skills learned, and just a community coming together.
And finally, with volleyball news, Kenya Muhuru Bay in Migori County is set to host the National Beach Volleyball Championships on the 13th to the 15th of December. In a statement, Kenya Volleyball Federation's KVF Beach Volleyball Chairperson Moses Mbuthia says the choice of venue is part of the bigger plan of popularizing the sport all over the country and tapping emerging talents. This year's competition marks the third edition of the annual tournament, which has usually been held in the form of circuits with multiple stops across the country. The last edition of the competition was held in Diani this year, where Gaudentia Makoka and Posca Kasisi were crowned champions. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Ngwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Well, if you're a rugby fan, look forward this weekend because Springboks are going up against France and Siamthanda Kolisi will be playing in his 100th Test match. What an accomplishment that is. Let's get the latest in business news now with Nosipho Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, wage negotiations resumed today between Fly Safae and the South African Cabin Crew Association under the mediation of the Commission for Reconciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, which is the CCMA. The union represents 65% of the airline's 800 cabin crew staff, and those members have been locked out by the airline. SACA has threatened to strike with the union's president, saying it was willing to accept the tabled 4-year agreement of between 6 and 7%, but that the employer included some of non-financial benefits in the final documents that were not bargained for and that would compromise the lives of workers. The airline's Kirby Garden says they remain committed to a resolution with the cabin crew members to avoid a strike action at the Fly Safae.
Operations remain fully stable with 100% of all of the flights departing on time, and there have been no disruptions. The parties will be back at the CCMA, and the intention is to continue to engage constructively and really put a strong focus on reaching a fair and balanced resolution today. Our commitment is to protect our passengers whilst we work toward a sustainable outcome for all of our staff.
South African fashion retailer Truworths has reported flat group sales in the first 18 weeks of the 2026 financial year, as sales decline in its Africa business despite a strong performance in its UK operations. Now, according to the group's retailer statement, sales were unchanged at $415.88 million for the period from 30th of June to the 2nd of November compared to last year, adding that its gross profit margin improved on the prior year. Its UK-based shoe retailer Offers posted a 6% growth in retail sales at $152.06 million, which was driven by a strong demand in fashion, footwear, and a broad customer appeal. Kenyan telecoms company Safaricom has reported a 55% rise in its half-year profit, helped by a smaller loss in key expansion market in Ethiopia. Safaricom posted a group operation profit of $505.62 million in the 6 months to the end of September and maintained its full-year guidance. Steady growth in its Kenyan business have continued to be the main profit driver, while its reported loss in Ethiopia dropped by 59% compared to the first half of the previous financial year, which was heavily impacted by a depreciation of the birr currency. The U.S. Department of Transportation is to begin cutting flights from tomorrow because of the continuing government shutdown. The Federal Aviation Administration says it will cut air traffic by 10% across 40 busy airports in order to maintain safety. Air traffic controllers have been working without pay for more than a month, and some are now calling in sick. The BBC's Peter Bowles says the government is trying to reassure travellers.
There is no indication right now that air travel in this country is not safe. That's what they're trying to avoid. In fact, the FAA has said that the system is still operating safely, but they are warning about these staffing problems and the fatigue pressures, especially amongst its staff, saying that as time goes on, this is now a record-breaking shutdown in terms of the number of days, and the problems are only going to get worse.
And the European Commission says it is in touch with French authorities as well as with Chinese online retailer Shein following a French complaint about Shein allowing pornographic content or weapons sales on its platform. The EU spokesperson Paula Pinho has confirmed that the EU received France's letter urging action, adding that a platform allowing pornographic content or selling weapons violate EU laws. Pinho says that this will drive potential next steps from the EU Commission. The spokesperson said he was not aware of similar concerns raised by other member states and that the EU does not have the intention to suspend any platform EU-wide. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,440 and Botswana is 13.35. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 26 and in Zambia is 22 kwacha 37. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 38. Russia is 81 rubles 18. India is 88 rupees 65. China at 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 13. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,012 and platinum at $1,567 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $64.23 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
A atenção do mundo está em Joanesburg. Líderes das maiores economias do planeta reúnem-se para tomar decisões que irão moldar o futuro das nações e dos mercados. O Channel Africa está no centro dos acontecimentos a trazer-lhe as conversas, análises e perspectivas que realmente importam. A cimeira do G20 nos dias 22 e 23 de novembro, sob uma perspectiva africana em tempo real. Acompanhe tudo na África.
This is what memories are made of.
Love don't care who you be, where you there from. Love don't
On
care.
Channel Africa, the African perspective. The upside, live and real.
Give me that love, give me peace of mind. Or should they come me with your line? I want that peace of mind where they come with that woo. Baby, now on my race we they run to make you look always time. Oh no, no pressure. Make you give me that love. If you give me, I no go let go. Give me, make I kill my sanko. Feelings got me hitting on a freaky dance floor. Make you give me that love. If you give me, I no go let go. Make you give me, make I kill my sanko. Feelings got me hitting on a freaky dance floor. Diallo, diallo. If I give you my love, oh, make you no disappoint, oh. Me, I get you for mine, oh. Diallo, diallo. If I give you my love, oh, make you no disappoint, oh. Me, I got you for mine, oh, my mind, oh. Goddamn, alright, goddamn. Get the way your body make me feel excited. Loving you, they put me on a different mindset. Girl, not only you, they make me stick to one girl. Goddamn, hell, I need you again, goddamn. Picture perfect, no they mind them. Keep it private, fuck on ballet. If you need me, baby, I'll be right there. One more time for my lady, you. Bump back, showing you the baby, you. Do me many things till they hear me, you. I'm ready if you're ready to. Give me that love. If you give me, I no go let go. Give me, make I kill my sanko. Feelings got me hitting
is always with you.
Oh, my voice is a mystery, but they always tryna diss me. Same guys tryna get in my way. Keep the same vibe, you can ruin my day. Oh, my voice is a mystery. Ride the wave of my history. I've been distant to keep my distance. Goodbye to a boring life. I like to seek, but I'm never inside. Even though my time's alright, I like to care, but it never reach fight. Swinging my ways like I never did say. And then I roll like I really get back. And you can't believe what you heard about me. It's the magic for me. They keep trying to reach me, yeah, yeah. It's the magic for me. I make them weak till they run insane. So get me lit on a weekday. I'm on the way, I'm always on the display. And I'ma shut them all down on the D-Day. It's my time, so put me on a replay. Oh, this girl, when they said they won't try me. Oh, this girl, when they wanted them back. Oh, this girl, when they said they won't break. Oh, this girl, when they said they won't try. Oh, this girl, when they said they won't break you. Oh, this guy, when they said they won't take you. Oh, this guy, when they said they won't buy me. Oh, this guy, when they wanna be funny. I wanna go and I make me go. Back then when I have no friends and you're condescend, but I really want rescue. Even though, bro, I could let you go, but I really want sure that you really contest me. Even on the days when they try to arrest me, but you live a lie, there's no way you could get me. Piss them off, they lock me up in a celly. Then they shock them when they see me on the telly. You know, I'm a vibe and I run it as usual. I the only come around just to make it. And I can shake things, but I break it. You name it, boy. Who knew? I won't care for the things that you do. I could turn, let everyone try me. Cause you're never gonna get what's for me. Yeah.
11 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time, replay by Thames. And before that, we had Give Me That by Ira Star and Wiz Kid. Beautiful double play there on the upside. Actually, today the music has been on point. On point. On the upside this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in this Thursday edition of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. All right, we're getting ready now for The Upside Spelling Bee. All right, this is an opportunity for us to learn a new word, relearn how to spell, as we are always on our phones and we have autocorrect consistently set to on. We forget sometimes how to spell. But here on the upside, we're going to remind you how to do that and maybe introduce you to a new word or two. That's been the case. I mean, we learned a nice word a couple of days ago. Mellifluous. Mellifluous.
I love that word.
Yeah. So that's coming up. Are you ready for today's spelling bee?
Listen, I'm never ready, to tell you the truth. I'm never ready. But I think somebody's going to rescue me out of this. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, we're going to throw forward to Tami Ngubeni with Africa in Business. And then we've got our upside spelling bee. Don't go anywhere.
Ready to connect, innovate, and be inspired? It's all happening at Africa's Tech Festival, where Africa's technology meets the world. From the 10th to the 13th of November in Cape Town, join global leaders, investors, and innovators driving the future of Africa's digital economy. Don't miss the continent's biggest week in tech. Get your pass now at africatechfestival.com.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's 9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time. We've got the Queen of Africa in Business, Tami Ngubeni, joining us in the building. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I am awesome. It is raining outside. We've had rain. We've had sun. It is still raining. It's been raining for hours. And the grass is amazing. The grass is looking so lush and green. So I think those are the perks of good rain.
Absolutely. Obviously, rain and driving, not always the best of conditions, not the best of combinations, but we're glad that you made it here safely.
No, certainly.
That's the most important thing.
Yes, and to everybody who's listening, if you're out there and it's raining, do keep safe on the roads. And I certainly hope this is not the weather come the G20 summit in a couple of weeks' time.
You never know, eh?
22nd to the 23rd. I mean, Nasrec, it is indoors, everything happens indoors, but there's a lot of walking as well between the different halls. So it would be a bit inconvenient. So let's not order rain, at least for that weekend.
Gauteng weather can be very temperamental.
Very temperamental.
But anyway, what's coming up on African Business this
talking
afternoon?
about the G20, we've got our G20 spotlight coming up this afternoon, along with SFM and Ashraf Garda. And today we'll be looking at one of the G20's priorities, which is supporting small-scale farming. And we'll be looking at various initiatives such as increased investment, climate resilience, digital innovation, etc. And we'll be speaking to John Gerrica, Jimmy Gochana, co-facilitator of the Civil 20, the C20, that's the working group. And then also we've got our CEO feature, our C-suite feature this afternoon. You know the Basotho blankets, right?
Yeah.
The company that makes them, or that has a license to manufacture them, as you know, is Aranda. So we'll be speaking to top management and top leadership there at Aranda Blankets. And they do a whole lot more than the Basotho blankets.
They do.
They really do. But that's what really put them on the mark, didn't it?
And they give back. I really believe in how they run their business. Yeah.
We actually have had so many activations with Aranda, going to the parks in the middle of Hillbrow, and they give away blankets to children. So a lot of goodwill going into that business. So we'll be speaking to them this afternoon, and also we'll be looking at some top entrepreneurs, innovators, change makers who have converged to share some strategies, insight at the 3rd annual South African Future Trust Summit that's taking place at the Sandton Convention Centre.
Amazing.
Lots to look forward to all the time. On a Thursday, I think especially with the G20 feature, there's always quite a lot to unpack.
100%. All right.
That's our portion.
Looking forward to African Business from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central African Time with the Queen of African Business, Tami Ngubeni. Don't go anywhere. Our Upside Spelling Bee is coming up next.
Ninawaza uliumbwa juu yangu, ndo maana na kuangaikia, hata kidogo nachopata ni cha kwako. Baby usinivunje moyo, chakula kishuki, nisipokona mabebi la kwako nalana kiapo. Baby wangu taishi nawe, ogali toto, sifulizi kimoko, taongeza ujuzi nitakuchora. Tena kwa ukali wako umeliteka ili jimbo, penzi umelitia fora. Yani pale ukinibusu vile unajishuku, ndo nazidi kuwakera, ndo nazidi kuwakera. Wakipunguza machungu, roho zao za majungu, ndo nazidi kuwakera, ndo nazidi kuwakera. Baby, would you marry me? Would you marry me? Honey, would you marry me? Would you marry me? Baby, would you marry me? Would you marry me? Honey, would you marry me? Would you marry me? Alafu baby wezijua tamu watunda bila kulimenya, mie tayari shazidio, ongeza tamu tena koleza marao yo miguno
4 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time. B Classic, Kenya. Marry me. Who are you asking to marry you? Mmatsheko?
You. No, you dig a ditch, you will fall into it. You.
Next week we shall
Were
have.
you ready for that?
We shall have an upside wedding as
I love
next
it
week
for us.
on the upside. It's time for our upside spelling bee. Okay, an opportunity for us to really learn how to spell.
Wow.
No, it is
Back
because
to school, back to
yeah,
reality.
absolutely back to school, because this thing of autocorrect on our phones, hey, it's making us very lazy, hey?
Totally.
And hopefully we'll learn a few new words today. Our producer extraordinaire, Mmatsheko Tango, is in the building. How you doing, madam?
I'm good, and yourself?
Can't complain. Who's starting today?
First of all, should I really late? Because
Please,
the marriage is coming upon us,
Well,
eh?
okay.
It must be
Let's
in our
learn how to spell
garments.
first.
Let's learn how to spell it first.
Let's spell first. How's about that?
Okay, first word, homogeneous. Very easy, guys. You know this one. Okay, Tebogo, you?
Homogeneous.
Not hormones.
Don't give him clue.
Homogeneous. Age. H-O. I'm going. You know what?
Okay,
today. I'm going to spell it like I'm hearing it. Okay.
Okay.
Homogeneous. H-O-M-O-G-E-N. O-U-S.
You got it.
Yes!
You actually got it.
Come on. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I clearly would have gotten it wrong.
And what does homogeneous mean?
It means all of the same or similar kind of nature.
Thank you very much. All right.
Okay, Mmatsheko, auspicious.
A-U-S-P-I-O-U-S.
Wrong.
Oh, I don't know how to spell
And
guys.
it's simply because you actually got it right throughout. You just left
really
one
suck
letter,
at this.
and it was the C.
Oh, there we go.
It was just the C. So that's A-U-S-P-I-C-I-O-U-S, which means indicating favorable circumstances and good luck.
There we go. Thank you very much, Mmatsheko Tango. Listen, if you'd like to take part in our upside spelling bee, I think you'll do a much better job than us. Let's be honest, Mmatsheko. We will just be spectators when our lovely viewers.
They will be Googling the word.
Well, no, they won't. How will they Google while they're on? Oh, actually, they could. That is actually a real thing. If you'd like to take part in the upside spelling bee, drop us a WhatsApp, +27634069126, and we'll be playing with you next time. Fun show. Ready to go on?
Listen, I can't wait for the Friday edition of the show, because it always comes with gifts of music, DJs in studio, amapiano, all the good stuff. So tune in tomorrow. We'll be back in your company between 1 and 4. Have a pleasant rest of the afternoon.
Bye-bye.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Business,